What else we got?
We have Roger Moncada writes, as I heard that there is a Warcraft movie coming, I couldn't help to wonder if it's actually going to work. The only video game movie I can think that has not been a disaster is Tomb Raider. There has been so many failures that I almost lost every hope of getting a good video game movie. But I want to hear what you guys think about it. Do you think there is a future for video game movies, or should we leave them for the consoles? Thanks for the great show and keep up the great work.
Well, thank you so much for the question and the nice, kind words. We talk about video game movies. This topic comes up quite a bit. My whole view of the video game movie thing is this. There are 3 rules in life. Death, taxes, video game movies suck. That just seems to be a law of nature. But you're right. I agree with you, actually. I've always kind of said the one video game movie that I have not found totally disappointing was the original Tomb Raider. I actually think that movie had its merits, and I actually didn't mind it all that much. I didn't love it. It's no great classic, but not bad. Everything else sucks. That's just sucks. But I've always said this. Video games and movies are 2 very different things. I mean, really, people try to disagree with me about this, and I'm sorry. If you really just sit down and think logically, you can be playing a video game, and it might feel like you have hours and hours and hours and hours of narrative in it. There's not. I mean, I remember these guys talking once at BlizzardCon, and one of the things is that, really, the challenge of game makers who are trying to make a compelling story to go into the game, really what they do, they try to distill it down so you have about a 20-minute narrative that then in a game that's made properly will feel like hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, that's really what it's about. Narrative, because video games are made for gameplay. That's the way it should be. Mm-hmm. You don't buy a video game so you can get a great story. I mean, great stories help the game experience, absolutely. But you buy a video game for the gameplay. That's what you get a video game for. And if you can have great narrative in there too, that enhances the gameplay, that's awesome. But movies are not made for gameplay. Movies are strictly made for narrative. And so you have 2 different worlds, 2 different things. And I think quite often, a lot of video game fans erroneously say that, oh, you got to really stick to the game to make the movie any good. No, that's nonsense, because the narrative you played in the game was never made for a big screen presentation. It was made for gameplay, and you got to adapt things for the big screen. The trick is getting it to the right skilled hands that can take that story and adapt it properly and make something great out of it. The key is definitely not just take what's in the game beat for beat, word for word, and put it on the big screen and people will love it. No, they won't. They just won't. So there has to be an element of adaptation and proper adaptation, and usually the problem has been the adaptations have been terrible. But I've said for a long time, I think there is hope moving on, because I look at some games that really have a playground in front of them for some great narrative storytelling, because there's big open-endedness. Like, one of the reasons I believe a World of Warcraft film can work and work really well is because the World of Warcraft is so vast and so big that there's a lot of playroom for a skilled writer to step in there and make up his story that still follows the rules of the World of Warcraft universe. Mm-hmm. I believe that the upcoming Michael Fassbender project, Assassin's Creed, I believe that has great character, a great mythology, but there's also playroom in there for a really skilled writer to go in there and make up a great story to fit within that mythology that Assassin's Creed has made. And I believe that they do games like that properly and right, I think you can have a great movie. The key is not just to get a great game and say, oh, since that game is great, it'll make a great movie. Mm-hmm. No, there are a lot of great games that wouldn't make good movies. But I think like Assassin's Creed, World of Warcraft, I really wanted a BioShock movie. I think a BioShock movie would be brilliant. Or at least have the potential to be brilliant. So I think there's hope. Even though I believe all video game movies suck, I think there is hope. I do. I think there is hope for the genre. I really do.
I loved Tomb Raider, and I'm super excited for Assassin's Creed. So
oh yeah, I'm excited for it too.
Hope.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news, and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.